الحمد لله حمدا يدوم بدوامه ويبقى ببقائه. الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا. الحمد لله خالق الخلق باسط الرزق فالق الإصباح ذي الجلال والإكرام والفضل والإنعام الذي بعد فلا يرى وقرب فشهد النجوى تبارك وتعالى. الحمد لله مالك الملك. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له إلها أحدا قيوما سرمدا لا يتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك وترحم وتحنن على حبيبك ونجيبك محمد كأفضل ما صليت وسلمت وباركت وترحمت وتحننت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. عباد الله وإماء الله، أوصيكم ونفسي الخاطئة بتقوى الله عز وجل. We are approaching the 40th day after the demise and martyrdom of Imam Al-Hossein alayhi afdal salatu wassalam. This is a very significant event. The tragedies of the household of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa did not end on the day of Ashura. Simply they began on the day of Ashura. The tragedies began with the departure, with the massacre of Imam Hussein and his holy household, his companions. And then the women of his family were taken captives from city to city, from village to village, starting from Kufa and passing by from village to village. They were paraded. The household of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, these women, specifically as Sayyidah Zainab salamullahi alayha, whom people would not see her shadow. Sayyidah Zainab, when she was in Medina, she would go to the mosque of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the middle of the night, at night, not during the day, so that people would not see her. Although she was in her hijab, fully covered, but she would not go during the day, she would go at night. But being paraded from city to city, from village to village, in that sort of disrespectful, demeaning way to Rasulullah and his holy household, from Kufa and all the way to Damascus, to Asham. When Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam was asked, which of your tragedies were the worst? The worst tragedies that the Ahlul Bayt saw. Was it the massacre of Imam Hussein? He said no, although this was a great tragedy. Was it the murder of Abu al-Fadl Abbas, the death of Abu al-Fadl Abbas? He said no, although this was a great tragedy. Was it the massacre of Abdullah, the six-month infant? He said no, although this was a great tragedy. So which was the greatest tragedy that you saw? He would say Asham, Damascus. This was the greatest tragedy. For the daughter of Amir al-Mu'mineen to be forced to enter the court of Yazid, full of men, rejoicing over seeing the torture and disrespect of the family of the Prophet, rejoicing of how Sayyidah Zainab was brought into the court of Yazid. This was the greatest tragedy upon the hearts of the Ahlul Bayt. Asham. And we know what happened in Asham. We know how Sayyidah Zainab, despite all of the odds, despite being put in a court in front of men, in front of a tyrant, yet she spoke so bravely in front of Yazid. And she told him that, do you think that you've done all of this, that Allah stands with you, that Allah is pleased with you? Allah is only giving you time so that you sin and you keep on collecting sins so that Allah will get rid of you soon. And then she told him that do what you want to do. Bring all of your efforts to fight the household of Rasulullah, and let's see what you could do. All of your efforts will go in vain, because day after day, the remembrance of Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, it will increase. It was there that Imam Zayn Abidin stood up on the minbar and he gave his famous sermon. It was there that Ruqayya passed away in Sham. Finally, this caravan sets back. They're on their way back. They're in an area where they could either come back to Iraq or go back to Medina. So the head of the caravan, he asked Imam Zayn Abidin, that where would you like to go? Should we go back to Medina, or would you like to go to Karbala? He comes and he asks his aunt Zainab. When she hears the name of Karbala, she says, let's go. Let's pay our loved ones a visit. Let's go back to Karbala. So they come back to Karbala. Their caravan headed by Imam Zayn Abidin and Sayyidah Zainab. Before that, Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari, this loyal companion to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This companion who had met Rasulullah and Amir al-Mu'mineen and Fatima al-Zahra, wal-Hasan wal-Hussein and Imam al-Baqir. He had met 6 of the Ma'sumeen and was a companion to 6 of the Ma'sumeen. This was a virtue that no one else had. He had come. He had arrived to Karbala with his servant Atiyah. They arrived to Karbala. He had arrived. He came to the river of Euphrates. He bathed. He performed his ghusl. He put on his nicest clothing. He put on perfume. And he said, take me to the grave. Jabir ibn Abdullah had lost his eyesight. He said, take me, walk me to the grave. So he walked him to the grave. He said, this is the grave of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. He said, Al-Misni, let me touch the grave. Fell on the ground. He took the sand. He began smelling it. And then 3 times he shouted, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. Habibun la yujib habiba. A beloved does not answer the call of the one whom he loves. He remained on the grave and he said, how can you reply to me when your head was severed from your body? He remained on the grave of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And then they saw a shadow, a group coming. Atiyah told him, Ya Jabir, get up, let us hide because I see soldiers coming. He said, no, these are not soldiers. Go see who it is. If they are the soldiers of Ubaydillah ibn Ziyad, we go and hide. But if it is my master Imam Zayn Abidin, that I set you free for the sake of Allah. Atiyah went. Moments later he came back. He said, Ya Jabir, get up and welcome your Imam Zayn Abidin alayhi salam. Jabir went to Imam Zayn Abidin. Imagine, for 40 days, the Imam had only seen enemies. He had not seen friends. He had not complained to anyone. So he went to him. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Rasulullah. Ana Jabir. Ana Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari. He said, you're Jabir? He said, yes, I'm Jabir. said, Ya Jabir, ha huna qutila rijaluna. Ya Jabir, do you know what happened in this land? Do you know what they did to my father and my brothers and my cousins and our men? This is where they killed them, they massacred them. This is where they took our women as captives. This is where all the events happened, Ya Jabir. And then the women, they went from grave to grave. Each one went to the grave of her loved one. Ramla went to the grave of her son Al-Qasim. Layla goes to the grave of Ali Al-Akbar. Al-Rabab goes to the grave of Abdullah. Each one goes to a grave of a loved one. As for Sayyidah Zainab, she would go from grave to grave. From grave to grave, because all of them were loved ones for her. This was the tragedy of Arba'een. The tragedy of Arba'een is not less than the tragedy of Ashura. Because when this caravan set out to Kufa, these bodies were severed on the battleground. Unwashed, unshrouded, unburied. Now that they've come back, the bodies are all in their graves. It was a very, very sad day for the family of Rasulullah to return to Karbala on the day of Arba'een. Bani Asad, the tribe that surrounded Karbala, they came, they greeted Imam Zain al-Abidin, they greeted Sayyidah Zainab, and they welcomed them to Karbala. On the 40th, on Monday or Tuesday, we commemorate this great day, the 40th of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi. I ask Allah to grant us His ziyarah and His shafa'ah in the akhirah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله حمدا يدوم بدوامه ويبقى ببقائه الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا الحمد لله خالق الخلق باسط الرزق فالق الإصباح ذي الجلال والإكرام والفضل والإنعام الذي بعد فلا يرى وقرب فشهد النجوى تبارك وتعالى وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك وترحم على محمد وآل محمد كأفضل ما صليت وسلمت وباركت وترحمت على إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم اللهم وصل على علي أمير المؤمنين ووصي رسول رب العالمين اللهم وصل على البضعة الطاهرة فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين وصل على سبطي الرحمة وإمامي الهدى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة وصل على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف الهادي المهدي عجل الله تعالى فرجه وسهل مخرجه وجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه عباد الله وإماء الله أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله عز وجل. My dear brothers and sisters, as I speak to you now, and we're here in Orange County, thousands of miles away, there's a pilgrimage happening. Millions, I will not be exaggerating if I say 13 or 14 millions are headed towards their master, towards the beloved. Walking Not by bus, not by cars, not by planes, not by means of transportation, although they have all the means of transportation, but they walk. Starting from the southernmost point in Iraq, in Basra, they're walking. There are some that have come from Iran. There are some that have come from Kuwait, from Saudi Arabia, from all over the world. Although there's a pandemic, although there's restrictions, but people have gone from across the world, walking on their foot for days, scorching heat. Now, today's the 23rd of September. In Iraq, it's scorching heat. It gets up to 115 degrees during the day. But these people, they don't know anything about the heat of the day or the cold of the night, because their destination is Imam Hussein alayhi salam. I ask you, have you ever read about a king or an emperor or even a prophet that people walk to for a day or two? None. But when it comes to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, people walk for over 20 days. Allah gave Imam Hussein alayhi salam something that no other king, no emperor, no prophet, and more than that, not even Allah in His Kaaba, people walk to for 20 days. Not even for Hajj. Allah gave something to Imam Hussein that He did not reserve for Himself. This honor, this dignity, this pride. You see Shia Muslims and you see Sunni Muslims. Maybe some of you saw a couple of days ago a Sunni delegation from Palestine. From Palestine. They came from all the way from Al-Quds to participate in Ziyarat Al-Arba'een in Imam Hussein. And from the shrine of Imam Hussein, they declared, Bil-Husayni nantasir. We will reach victory against our enemies through Imam Hussein. Through Imam Hussein. Palestinian scholars from Al-Quds. You see Christians, you see Jews, you see Sabians. From all denominations, from all schools of thought, from all religions, they come to participate in the Ziyarah of Imam Hussein. And when you go for Arba'een, you see all the virtues come to life. Generosity. Generosity. People save up their money throughout the year just to serve the Zawar of Imam Hussein during Arba'een. They come, they offer you what they have. And they tell you, we'll kiss your hands and feet. Just come and eat our food. Just come and stay in our homes. We'll kiss your hands and feet. You know, wherever you go, when someone invites you to their house, you have to thank the host. The guest thanks the host. After spending some time in someone's home, eating, drinking, sleeping, the guest thanks the host. Except in Karbala during Arba'een. It is the host that thanks the guest. They thank you for eating their food. They thank you for staying in their home. You've done them an honor for serving Imam Hussein, for allowing them to serve Imam Hussein. You see all of these virtues come to life in Karbala during Arba'een. The generosity, the selflessness, the volunteering, putting others in front of yourself, in front of your family members. I know families in Karbala. Some of you have been to Karbala during Arba'een. They open their entire homes, even their bedrooms, even their private, personal bedroom. It's open for the Zawar of Imam Hussein. What greatness is this for Imam Hussein alayhi salam? What greatness that for these 20 days, people offer everything that they have for the comfort and safety and security of the Zawar of Imam Hussein. And you see these people, they walk for 20 days, more, less, without being tired. We walk for an hour, we have to rest. We have to sit and rest. These people walk for days. Some with their strollers with their children. Some with their parents on their back. I saw pictures of a gentleman carrying his mother on his back. I saw a gentleman pushing his mother on her bed and she's sleeping because she's ill, she can't get up. So he takes her in her bed towards Karbala. You see signs that you don't see anywhere across the world. Anywhere across the world during Arba'een. And although that I know that in each and every single one of you, I know this without doubt, I know that each and every single one of you wants to be in Karbala right now. We all wish that we were in Karbala right now, participating in Ziyarat Al-Arba'een. But this intention, it means a lot to Allah Azza wa Jal. It means a lot. The intention of wanting to be in Karbala during the days of Arba'een, you will also be rewarded what the Zuwar will be rewarded. And we know that the reward for the Zuwar, من زار الحسين عليه السلام ماشيا كان له بكل خطوة يخطوها حجة وعمرة من حجج وعمر رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. He who visits Imam Hussein walking, who visits Imam Hussein and walks to his grave, he shall have with every footstep, with every step that he takes, the reward of a Hajj and Umrah of whom? The Hajj of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Umrah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Having the intention of wanting to be with the Zuwar on the day of Arba'een, you will also be rewarded. Just like Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari. Just like Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari, when he said, أشهد أننا شاركناكم, he tells Imam Hussein alayhi salam, أشهد أننا شاركناكم, we participated with you and we will be rewarded what you were rewarded, Ya Aba Abdullah. Atiyah, his servant, he says, Ya Jabir, what are you saying? These people fought until their heads were severed from their bodies. Their bodies were trampled with horses. We will be rewarded as their reward? He said, yes, Ya Atiyah. Because I heard, سمعت حبيبي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله يقول من أحب عمل قوما حشر معهم وأشرك فيهم. He who loves the action of people, he will be with them and we will be rewarded with them. I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to grant us the opportunity to go for Arba'een next year, inshallah. Those that couldn't go this year, may Allah give us the life and health for no other reason other than to go to Arba'een, inshallah. And I invite you, for those who have never done Arba'een in Karbala, I invite you, come to Karbala. Come for Arba'een. Come and see the beauty, the generosity, the selflessness, the beauty that you will see in Karbala, the entire path from Basra to Karbala, from the south and from the north, all the roads that lead to Karbala. Come and see the miracle. Come and see that spirit. Come and see the beauty, the amount of people volunteering, the amount of people giving all that they have. I ask Allah to grant us the ziyarah of Imam Hussein, the ziyarah of Arba'een, next year inshallah, to give us the health and the life to serve Imam Hussein and to attend his majalis next year in Muharram. And in every Muharram, we attend his majalis, we cry over his martyrdom, we shed our tears for him. We eat the food at his majalis, this food that is full of barakah and blessing, and to grant us the intercession of Imam Hussein in the next life. Those who visit Imam Hussein will visit them. The same way we go to visit him, he will visit us. Starting from our graves, in that lonely grave, we need someone to visit, Imam Hussein will come to us. And the rest of the Ma'soomeen, they will come to us. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma aghfir lana wa'afina wa'fu anna. Allahumma la tada' lana dhanban illa ghafartah, wa la hamman illa farrajtah, wa la ayban illa satartah, wa la khawfan illa amantah, wa la rizqan illa basattah, wa la shamlan illa jama'tah, wa la maradan illa shafaytah, wa la ghaiban illa hafidhtahu wa adnaytah, wa la hajatan min hawa'ij ad-dunya wal akhirah لك فيها رضا ولنا فيها صلاح إلا قضيتها ويسرتها يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم احفظ زوار أبي عبد الله الحسين. اللهم تقبل منهم أعمالهم. اللهم ارزقنا زيارة الحسين في الدنيا وشفاعة الحسين في الآخرة وشفاعة جده وأبيه وأمه وأخيه. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي